When life and stress has got you feeling down, when the seriousness of life has drawn you a frown, to brighten your day there's a place you can go. It's the Matthew and Ali Variety Show.
Some fun news for you. Cats has come to Idaho, and it's not only Cats, but it's an actual production put on by a local group, by people who actually live here. And it's really awesome. I went earlier and saw it today, saw the matinee for Saturday, and I took Roger with me because he's never seen it before. And they just did a wonderful job. So I'm going again tonight, and tonight's the last night that they're going to be in town. So I am doing what I like to do. I didn't get to do this earlier, but I am going to go dressed up. I told 2 of the cast members earlier today that I'm going to do that. So they will be expecting me, and I already bought my ticket, so I already have everything ready and raring to go. So now I gotta get myself all made up, and next time you see me, I'm going to be a cat. Alright, this was such an awesome play, awesome production. I got to meet a whole bunch of the cast again and got pictures with them. I'll show them to you in a minute. And got to go on stage, and it was just so awesome. Here's a bunch of what their cast characters look like. And stuff like this. It's just excellently done. I think I've seen her before. It's just so excellent. Alright guys, I am home and back from Cats. You know, the only bad thing about this costume, no pockets. Good thing I have arm warmers, because I needed a place to put my wallet. If you can see it. If I can show it to you, there we go. My wallet's up in there. And I have my keys in the other glove. Or the other arm warmer. But now this has to be the best production I've seen of Cats, and part is because it's Idaho-based production that had Idaho in mind, and they had Idaho pieces in there, like Eliot Street. We have an Eliot Street here, and they had it set so it's in the center of the whole stage, and to the left of it was T.S. Now, for those of you who know Cats, you know what T.S. Eliot is, or who T.S. Eliot is, rather. For those who don't know, he's the one who wrote Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats, which is where the most of the what are now songs, but where most of the poems were pulled from to make the play Cats. And they had other things in there, like well, Starbucks are everywhere, but they had a giant Starbucks cup. It was about 2 foot tall. And I talked to the girl who actually made it, and she said, yeah, I'm going to take that, and I'm going to go to Starbucks and apply for a job there. I said, no, take it there and have them, or tell them, fill it up. And she laughed at that. She thought that was great. But there was also a 2C license plate with, it looked like an Idaho license plate, and 2C, I think I've told this to you guys before, but 2C means it's the Canyon County. It's the second county with a C, or that starts with a C, in Idaho. And it was in Nampa, which is in Canyon County. So it was really awesome that they actually put that in there. And there was also a BFI, which is the local trash company. And there was a couple other different things in there, a pawn shop and whatnot. And it was set up to be the back of a theater, rather than just a junkyard, like the original. I got interaction with the cast during the play without them taking away from the play. There are a couple times where they're out in the audience during the musical, especially at the beginning. If you've ever seen the overture, where they come rushing up the sides of the stadium, and they're wearing their glasses. In this production, they were wearing green glasses instead of yellow glasses, which is normal. At least normal as far as I've seen. And they were rushing up, and they'd been warned I was coming, because I told I think I said this already, but I told the Nick who played Rum Tum Tugger, and I told crap, I can't think of her name, but the girl who played Exotica, I think it was Megan. I could be wrong on that one, but I think it was. But I told them that I was going to come back tonight dressed up. So they knew I was going to come back. And then when I got in there was a bunch of the ushers looking at me saying, "Oh, you did make it. Oh, you're here." So I'm going, "Oh, wow, good news travels fast." And so I got to sit in my seat, and I had CC30, which is seats that they put in when they don't need the orchestra pit or when they're not extending the stage out. And so I was going to sit there, and someone was already sitting there. Okay, well, one of the ushers came by. "Is there a problem?" "Well, yeah, I'm supposed to be sitting here." And it was an elderly lady and her husband. I'm thinking it was her husband. And they were already sitting there, and I wasn't going to make a ruckus about it. But the usher said, "Well, here, let me take your papers." And she took him to the lady at the stand and said, or shown him that both of us had the same seat. Well, apparently one of their seats was a wheelchair seat, so they weren't supposed to be sitting in mine. But rather than raise a ruckus about it, they just moved me, and I got front row seats. I got a front row aisle seat. I was ecstatic with that. I mean, I absolutely loved that. I was right there. The stage was about 4 to 5 feet away from me, so I could stretch out my legs if I wanted to, and still have room in front of me for or from the stage where people could walk by. And when the cats came running up the aisles, they looked at me and started interacting with me, goofing off and playing around, and that was fun. And they get on the stage, disappear, and then they come out and do some of their numbers. And Rum Tum Tugger, when he does his song, he jumps into the audience and usually dances with a woman in the front or the second row, something like that. He did that earlier today at the first production that Roger and I went and saw. Tonight he went about 3 or 4 rows back and picked up this little girl that had cat's ears in, and he picked her up and started dancing with her and put her back down, and they walked up to me and said, "High five!" So I gave him a high five with it, and then he jumped back on stage. And during the Jellicle, or just before the Jellicle Ball, the guy who played Skimbleshanks came up to me, and you know, in cats, how they greet each other is they put their hands together like this, just the tops. They kind of rub them together, or they greet them that way. So he came up to the edge of the stage like this and put his arm out to me, so I reached up there and touched paws with him. That was so much fun, because everyone in the audience is asking, well, everyone close by anyway, is asking me, "Are you in the cast? Are you in the cast?" "No, I'm not." "What character are you?" "I'm just a fan." "Really? With a costume like that, you're just a fan?" "Yeah." Apparently, people don't make costumes anymore. I must be the only one. At least around here. So, anyway. I just got to interact with the cast, and which, when I told people that I wasn't part of the cast, made me look like a liar because I kept interacting with them. And they had some kittens on stage, these little kids. They were probably about 6 to 10 years old. There's 3 of them. And they were looking at me and just walking up kind of like kittenish. So I would just look at them, just tilting my head back and forth and smile at them, and they would giggle and walk off. But they acted as kittens would, so they kept with the play. And it didn't ruin anything, which I was so grateful for, because I did not want to cause a ruckus at all. And one of the other girls, an older girl, I think she was the one who played, she is Jemima. That's the one. And she was really close to the stage and did kind of the same thing, walking up, just on all fours, just walking up to me, kind of, just interacting with me. So I just did more of that with her, and I was a big hit with the audience, and I was an even bigger hit with the cast itself. And after the play, I got to go on stage with them again and got pictures and walking around talking to people, and everyone in the cast is looking at me going, awesome costume, I love it. Why didn't you jump on stage and join us? Because I didn't want to get kicked out. Good point, but it would have been fun, and we would have loved the, oh crap, what did he say? Loved the enthusiasm. That's what it was. It said, yeah, no. I got to hug a lot of the cast members. Since it was the last night, a lot of them were crying, which is understandable. When you put a year of hard work into a production, it's hard to see it go. And this was the last night. And so it was just one of those where everybody was very emotional. And the guy who played Skimbleshanks is going off to college. He's going away on the college, and I wished him the best of luck with it. And got to meet the guy who played McCavity this time. I didn't get to meet him last time, and I forgot my program here, so I didn't get to have him autograph it, unfortunately. Could have finished up getting my autographs if I had thought about it, but I didn't. Duh. Probably wouldn't have done me any good because my pen's in my back pocket here, and like I said, it's under the suit, so I couldn't get to it. If I've had to have unzipped, reached in, reached around, and pulled it. Don't worry, I've got clothes on underneath. I've got my shirt on here. I gotta part the fur here so I can unzip a little bit, but now see, I've still got my shirt on under here. No problems there. I would not have offended anybody or hurt their eyes. But, so, yeah, I got to talk to a lot of them, got praises from them. I praised them. I told them this was the best production I'd seen. Nick Tugger came up and asked me who my favorite character was. And overall the plays, Tugger is my favorite character. During this production, he was excellent, but I told the girl who played Demeter that she was my favorite character of this cast. And she was. She really was. And so I didn't lie to anybody. I told him he was my favorite character overall. But I did tell her she was my favorite character of this production. I went outside and talked to Thomasina, the lady who played Thomasina, nice lady, her name's Karen. And we struck up a nice conversation, talked about cats specifically, and then musicals overall. And I got to tell her about my show here too, which I was not there to, spread news about my show, but I ended up doing it anyway. Works for me. And I helped her take down the pictures because they had headshots of all the cast along with a mini biography for them. And I helped her take those down. And we just I had a blast. We had a fun time talking, and I just had a blast tonight. But now it's after 11, like I said, and I've been up until 6 in the morning for the last 2 or 3 nights. So I am going to strike myself. I'm going to take myself down and go to bed. So, good night, guys. Have fun. I hope you like my costume. And I hope one day, if you haven't ever seen Cats, that you get to see it. Maybe you get to see a local production. Maybe you get to see the full traveling cast. Either way, I recommend you see it. Take care, guys, and good night.